Hi, I'm Darlene and this is Heartfelt Crochets, and today's tutorial is going to be on this adorable granny square pouch. And it's not just any granny square, this is a circle to square granny square pouch, and it's the opposite colors on either side. We use two colors. There's this adorable little drawstring to pull it closed. So without further ado, let's go ahead and crochet it. Alright, so for today's tutorial for this cute little pouch, we are using two different colors today. I am using number 4 worsted weight yarn, and it is Premier Basics. This is the color Pecan and the color, I believe, Mustard. I lost the sleeve that went to it, but I believe this one is Mustard. And I'm not sure if I used a 4mm or a 5mm hook for this pouch when I made this one, so I'm going to go ahead and use a 5mm today. And you're going to need a pair of scissors and a yarn needle. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with the mustard. And we are starting with a magic ring. And I'm going to pull that tail through the front and close that up just a little bit. Okay, so then we're going to chain 2. So that gives us a total of 3 chains, and then we are going to double crochet 11 more. So to refresh your memory of double crochet, you are going to yarn over your hook, insert your hook into the magic ring, grab your yarn and pull up a loop so that you have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over and pull through 2 loops, and that's double crochet. So we're going to do that 10 more times. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now you're noticing that I'm holding this tail over on this side because we're crocheting right over the tail. That's helping us weave it in already right from the get-go, so we're not just leaving it hanging. Okay, so that is 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 from when I said we needed 10 more. So this should be a total of 12. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Our chain 3 counts as our first double crochet. We are going to slip stitch to the top of this chain 3 space, and we're going to pull that closed. Okay, so now what we're going to do is chain 3 again, 1, 2, and 3. And then we are going to double crochet right in this same space. Gotta pull out some more yarn. Okay, and then in this next stitch right here, we are going to double crochet 2. So what we're doing is we're increasing. So we're double crocheting 2 in every stitch around. And that's called a 2 double crochet increase. All right, so 2 double crochet in this next stitch, and 2 double crochet in the next stitch, and just continue that all the way around your circle. And at the end, you should have 24 single crochets because we started with 12 and now we're increasing. So we're going to have 24 at the end of this. just continue 2 double crochet in each stitch. Till you come to your last stitch. Okay, 2 more stitches. Okay. All right. Whoops. And then we're going to join at the top of that chain 3. And we're going to count just to make sure that you have 24. So let's count by 2s. This chain 1 and this double crochet is our first 2. This chain 3 and the first double crochet is our first 2. 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, and 24. Perfect. So now what we're going to do is we're going to turn our circle into a square. So we are going to chain 3, and then we're going to double crochet in this same space, and then we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to double crochet in this next stitch, and then another double crochet in that same space. Now we are going to half double crochet in this next stitch. So to refresh your memory, you are going to yarn over, insert your hook into the stitch, grab your yarn and pull up a loop. You have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. That is a half double crochet. And now we are going to single crochet. So just single crocheting in the next 2 stitches. So you're just going to insert your hook and draw up a loop, and then yarn over and draw through both those loops for a single crochet. Now another half double crochet in the next stitch, and then 2 double crochets in this next stitch, chain 1, and then 2 double crochet in the next stitch, half double crochet in the next stitch, single crochet in the next 2 stitches, half double crochet in the next stitch, and 2 double crochets in the next stitch, chain 1, 2 double crochet in the next stitch, half double crochet in the next stitch, single crochet in the next 2 stitches, half double crochet in the next stitch, 2 double crochet in the next stitch, chain 1, 2 double crochet in the next stitch, half double crochet in the next stitch, 2 single crochet in the next 2 stitches, and then a half double crochet in our last stitch. And then we are going to join to the top of that chain 3, and now we are going to chain 1, cut our yarn, and it's time to move on to the pecan color. All right, so we are going to grab our pecan yarn and make a slip knot. Insert your hook into any corner. So right in between the 2 sets of 2 double crochets. Hold your tail up against your work so it's easier to pull that slip knot through that corner and chain 1. Now you're going to chain 2 more, so you have a total of chain 3, and then you are going to double crochet 2 in this same corner. Going to pull that back and double crochet in this very first stitch, double crochet in the next stitch, double crochet in the next stitch, double crochet in the next stitch, and keep double crocheting in each stitch until you reach the next corner. Okay, one more. And then in this next corner, we're going to double crochet 3 right in that corner space. And chain 1. And 3 double crochet in this same corner space. Pull that back, double crochet in this first space, double crochet in the next space, and in the next space or next stitch. Okay, and then keep double crocheting in each stitch across. Whoop. And then 3 double crochet in this corner. So that's 1, it's 2, and it's 3, and then chain 1. And then 3 double crochet in this same corner. It's 2 and 3. And you're going to continue that until you get back to this edge over here. You're going to continue with a double crochet in each stitch. Now make sure you pull this back so that you don't miss this very first stitch of this first double crochet of the previous row. If you do, it's going to throw your square off. So make sure that you get this first stitch, double crochet in each stitch across. In your corner, you're going to want 3 double crochet, chain 1, 3 double crochet, and then a double crochet in each stitch until you get to this last one, and then I will meet you there. Okay, so now we're down to the last 2 stitches. So we are going to double crochet in this stitch, and then we're going to double crochet in this last stitch, and then we're going to 3 double crochet in this corner, 1 and 2 and 3, and then we're going to chain 1. We are going to slip stitch at the top of that chain 3. We are going to chain 1, and then we are going to single crochet in this next stitch, and single crochet in the next, and single crochet in the next, and you're going to continue with a single crochet in each stitch across this row. Okay, one more. And now we're at the corner. So in this corner, in between these 2 3 double crochet clusters, you are going to single crochet, chain 1, and single crochet in the corner space. Single crochet in this next stitch, and then single crochet in each stitch across this second row. Just 1 single crochet in each stitch across this row. Two more. And then in this corner space, single crochet, chain 1, and single crochet. Now continue that for the next 2 sides. Just single crochet across. When you get to the corner, single crochet, chain 1, single crochet in that corner, and then single crochet in each stitch. And when you get down to the end, meet me back here. All right, so I've reached the end of the row. Now we had started above this first cluster, so we didn't do anything in this corner. So we are going to single crochet, chain 1, and single crochet in the corner, and then we are going to slip stitch to the top of this first stitch here. Okay, well, that stitch is a little loose. I don't like the looks of that one. And then we're going to chain 1, and we're going to cut our yarn and pull that through. Now we just want to weave in our ends really quick. Just go ahead and thread your yarn needle and just go underneath the stitches of the initial round. And then where your yarn is coming out of, we're going to skip over that stitch, go back under this stitch, and go back the opposite direction. And then we can snip that yarn and get that right out of the way. Okay. Now you want to do that so that your circle doesn't end up opening on you later. Okay, so now with this one here, we're going to go ahead and take our yarn needle and we're going to just randomly weave it through some pieces. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then we are going to thread our yarn needle and then just pull that through. Okay. And then this one here is already coming out, so we're going to just jump over this first stitch, go underneath these few here, thread our yarn needle and pull that through. And then we're going to thread our yarn needle with this long one here, and we are just going to weave it randomly down through. Okay, pull that through. And then we are going to snip these ends. And get those right out of the way. All right, so that's our first square. So now what you can do for your second square, we're gonna start with the pecan for the center, and then this outside is going to be the mustard, so that it's opposite sides like this pouch. And you can rewind go back to the beginning of the video to watch it again if you wish to make your second square, and then when you're finished, come back and we'll proceed with sewing them together. All right, so we have our 2 squares, and I'm going to go ahead and you can see where the knot is. I'm going to put that at the bottom. Now what we're going to do is we're going to sandwich these together so that the wrong side of our work is on the outside. So wrong side out. Then take either color that you wish. I am going to go ahead with the mustard, and I am going to cut, oh, I don't know, maybe 3 feet of that. And then I'm going to make a slip knot. And I'm going to put this in this corner where you have the 2 single crochets in the chain 1. We're going to start right in there. Okay. And we're going to bring that, yep. Tighten that on there and bring that through there, and then let's just draw that whole thing right through. Okay, so now that's nice and secure on there, and we are going to thread our yarn needle. Okay, keep it probably a little less than halfway through. And then we're going to go ahead and insert. Okay, so in looking at these, let me bring this, zoom this in. In looking at these stitches, you can see each stitch on the top, okay? So this is the back side loops, and that's what we're going to be working in. We're not touching these inside loops at all. So in this very first one, we're going to go underneath this back loop and then going underneath that back loop. Okay, and we're going to pull that through. Now we're going to come back the opposite direction in the back loop and then in the back loop and pull that through, and we're zigzagging back and forth in the back loop only. Okay, this is an invisible seam. You don't have to zigzag. You could just keep going over, but I like to zigzag. Okay, and that's all we're gonna do. Let's continue this until we get to the corner. Make sure your stitches are nice and lined up. Let me go ahead and zoom back out. There we go. Okay. Okay, a couple more. Okay, so now we're at the corner, but we're not going to go inside. Like that was only to connect the yarn. Okay, so we're going to go underneath the loops of each one of those stitches. Okay, in the back loops, and then back through this other corner stitch. Okay, and we're just going to continue that. It's only 3 sides. We're leaving that 4th side open so that we can get into our pouch. Okay, so back loop only, pull through, come the opposite way, back loop only, and just continue that for the rest of this side and down this 3rd side, and I'll meet you back here. Okay, so we're down to our last couple stitches, and we're going to do that corner. Now you can see in this first corner that we went right inside the corner to join, so let's go ahead and bring our needle in between these 2 single crochets right in that corner, and then again in this corner to match what we did on the other side. Okay, and then bring that through and kind of put your hook underneath this stitch right here. Kind of pull that, and we're going to go under it one more time just to secure that. Okay, and then let's go ahead and just weave in our end randomly throughout. Just stagger it, pull it through. We're going to, give this a little extra security to make sure it's not going to come undone. And then let's just come back. I'm just going to go like maybe underneath these stitches here at the base. and then go back across those base stitches. Skip this first stitch that it's coming out of and go right underneath. There. And we're going to cut that yarn. Okay. Then we're going to come back over here in this one and we're going to weave that end in as well. Well, this is short, so we're going to go ahead and put our needle in first. Get under there. Then we'll thread the yarn needle and pull that through. Give that a snip. There, now let's go ahead and put this right side out. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and make our little shell across the top. So let's go ahead and use the brown for this. And we're going to insert our hook into this corner stitch right underneath this stitch here. Okay. So if you was to look at our seam in the middle, we're not going into this center stitch. We're going into the next one over. And we're going to make a slip knot. And draw that through. And then chain one. Okay. Let's go into that same spot and single crochet. Now we're going to skip a stitch, and in this next stitch we are going to double crochet 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. You can do a 5 double crochet shell if you want to, but I'm only going to do 4. And then skip this stitch, go into the next stitch, and single crochet. Skip the next stitch, 4 double crochet in the next stitch. If you want to, you could even do just 3 double crochets like this and just keep it as the granny stitch to match the granny square, but I am doing 4. And then skip the next stitch, single crochet, skip the next stitch, 4 double crochet in the next stitch, it's 3 and 4, skip the next stitch, double crochet in the next, skip the next stitch, 4 double crochet in the next stitch, and then single crochet right in this corner. Then we're just going to go ahead and we're going to single crochet, skip the center and single crochet right in that next corner stitch. Skip a stitch, 4 double crochet in the next stitch, whoop, come on, skip a stitch, single crochet in the next stitch, skip a stitch, 4 double crochet in the next stitch, skip a stitch, single crochet in the next, skip a stitch, 4 double crochet in the next, It's 3, and it's 4. Skip a stitch, single crochet in the next stitch, skip a stitch, 4 double crochet in this next stitch, and then slip stitch to that first single crochet. Okay, so let's go ahead and chain 1 and cut our yarn, pull through. Let's thread our yarn needle and weave that end in real quick. You know what, for extra security, let's make, where these ends are so close together, let's make a square knot. So we're going to take our right side, cross it over the left, and then we're going to tuck it back from back to front, and then we're going to do the opposite. We're going to take this left tail and cross it over the top of the right, tuck it in from back to front, and pull that tight. That's going to give it even some extra security. You could even cut it there and not worry about it, because square knots are pretty secure, but I like to see, it's too short, so I like to just go ahead and weave that end in a little bit just to give it some triple security and know that that's not going to come apart and end up you know, just unraveling our work of our pouch. So pull that through, and then let's go on the other side over here. Let's do the same thing and just weave it through. Okay. When you have a frayed end like this, go ahead and drape your yarn over your needle and kind of fold it, and then put that folded part through your needle. Just a little trick there. All right, so let's go ahead and snip that and snip this one. And let's grab the mustard colored yarn. And then we're going to insert, let's make a slip knot. Insert our hook into this single crochet that's on the side. Pull that through and chain 1. Now single crochet in that same space. Okay. Now we are going to single crochet in each one of these double crochet stitches. Single crochet in that single crochet stitch, and then in each shell stitch, and in the single crochet stitch. And that's all we're doing, is single crocheting in every stitch all the way around, giving our little pouch a border. So if you want, you can continue with this border. And okay, so here we are at, you know, this side, and it looks like we have 2, but we only have 1. Just go ahead and single crochet in there and then continue around. And continue that, and I will meet you when you get to the end of this. And then we'll make our cord. Nope. Okay, so we're at the end. We're going to go ahead and slip stitch. Let's single crochet in this last one, and then we're going to slip stitch right into this first single crochet that we made. Chain 1, cut the yarn, and pull that through. And then let's do the same thing with this. So right tail over the left tail, tuck it in, back from front, back to front. Left tail over the right tail, tuck it in, back to front, pull, weave in, do the same thing on this other side. Cut those ends. Okay. And that is our little pouch. Now we are going to go ahead and we're going to make our cord. And we are using the 2-loop method to make this cord. And we're using 2 strands, our mustard and our pecan. Okay, and let's go ahead and just create a slip knot. And actually, let's leave our tail a little bit longer here. Okay, so we have a fairly long tail. We're going to insert our hook. Now let's pull out quite a bit of yarn here. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to separate these 2 pieces. Okay. I like to drape the top yarn over my index finger and then just hold this bottom one with my middle finger and my thumb, and then keep this finger on top of this loop just to help give it a little bit more security. If you find a better way that's more comfortable for you, once you know what we're doing, then go ahead and do it that way. But this is the way that I find it to be the easiest. This is the way that I was taught and saw it on other videos. So take your hook, go underneath the bottom strand, and then underneath this way of the top strand, and then we are going to pull that through the loop on your hook. Underneath, and then the opposite way, and pull through. Now as you go, you'll figure out what's easiest for you. As I made a couple stitches, now I am going to hang on to this, now that I have something to really hang on to, and try to keep this bottom one tucked in your fingers, but yet you want enough tension. But when you get it figured out, then you're gonna go, okay, and you'll get into your own groove. So this is how I have mine now, hanging into these 2, wrapped around the top, hanging onto this middle now with my thumb and my middle finger. So underneath the back side of the bottom strand, and then underneath the front side of the top strand, pull through both loops. So that's all we're doing, and you can kind of rock your hook. Continue to bring your fingers up as you work, and then before you know it, you will get a nice rhythm going. Just go ahead and continue and make your cord long enough to be able to go through one side, out the other, have probably about, I'd say, 2 inches. So when the bag is completely flat, you're going to want about 2 inches of this hanging from the outside. Okay, so go ahead and continue making your cord, or you can make a braid if you wish. Make your cord that you desire, and when you measure it so that it's about 2 inches from this side, go across and then back this way, and I'll meet you back here. Okay, so once you have made the length of the cord that you need, you are going to go under and around and pull through for one last stitch, and grabbing 2, pull both of those through, cut the yarn, pull those through, and just tighten it up. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and line up our ends. And we'll make these even. So now what I like to do is take a stitch marker or a safety pin or a bobby pin and just put it through the end of your cord. So now what we want to do is turn our pouch to the side, and we are going to begin on the left hand side of this single crochet here. We're going to want to go in this way because we're going to want to go underneath these 4 double crochets. So we're going to go right in on the left hand side of those single crochets. It's to the right of the shell, and we're going to pull that through, go underneath this shell, go to the right hand side of this single crochet, and then to the left hand side of that single crochet, underneath the shell, to the right hand side of the single crochet, and then the left hand side. Do that again. And then under the shell, and we're at the edge. Okay, so we're going to come in, we're going to skip this center hole, we're going to come in this slot right here, right after the shell, and then skip over that hole and go right back in to the opening on the left hand side of that single crochet, under the shell, and we're going to repeat that and do this exact same thing as we did on the other side. Weaving that cord in and out, making sure it's on the back side of the shell. Oh, and get that little piece of yarn caught up there. And pull that through a little more. Okay, and we're at our last shell. So we are going to come in right to this left side of the shell and take your little whatever it is that you use to fish that through. You can take that off. You can make another little knot at the end, just to give it a little more security so that it's not gonna just pop right back through where we just weaved it through. And it kind of looks nice. I kind of like it. Then I'm just gonna go back and I'm gonna make sure that these ends are even again. So now you can pull your drawstrings to close your pouch. To compare the size, this one is bigger by a little bit. So I would say I probably used a 4mm hook with this one, and the one we did today was a 5mm hook. So if you want a smaller one, then just go down a hook size, or if you like this bigger one, use the 5, and if you want one even bigger, go ahead with a 6mm. Totally up to you. Comment below. Let me know what you thought of this cute little granny square pouch, and until next time, bye!